Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great day. I'm just going to share some notes that I took from my mentor about money. He speaks about what is money and the mindset around money. So, all right, let's get into it. So, the first thing you need to see is so we have a lot of notes, right? So as you can see, we do have some notes. So it starts with value, right? So, I could get into it. But the first thing him tell me, all right, well, we want to set the foundation, right? We have to go set the foundation first. We have to lay the wood. Pause. All right, so the first thing him tell me is before you can receive anything physical, you must have it internally first. Now, the question that I asked was, what do you mean? If I have to eat some of the money first, I mean, cause I just not understand. So you must say, no. Nothing like that. So you must say, the first law of the world is everything is mental. Right? You say, the first law of the world is everything is mental. So when we talk about mental, we are talking about the mind. That's why we have the brain emoji. So you can have a good perspective of what I'm trying to say, yeah. So the first law of the world is everything is a mental game, right? So I'm going even deeper into it and say you have two minds. So we could talk about the conscious mind first. Him say the conscious mind is your fight or flight mind. This is the mind that makes the New Year's resolution on January the 1st. Every year it's say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to lose a belly fat, I'm going to do what I need to do, and then December almost reach and you're still not in the gym. That means your conscious mind and make them decision there. And then him speak about the subconscious mind. So him said the subconscious mind responsible for 95% of your actions, but on autopilot. And it only reacts to emotions. Now, I understand the 95% on the autopilot, but when him say emotions, me dey confused. So we could get into that, right? Remember, we still talk about money. So him say, in your mind, it has a level of money that it thinks you deserve. And this is determined by your emotional experience with money. For example, how you were brought up by your mom and dad, and then you start to believe that that's how things work. Now, everybody doesn't have the same experience with money, but if you are struggling with money right now, there is a high percentage that you have the idea that money doesn't grow on trees. Every penny saved is a penny earned. You're always thinking that you should only think about bills. Those are the ideas around money that, because as we said before, the mind, the subconscious mind works off of autopilot and emotion. So any emotional reaction that it has with money, it will work on autopilot, so you won't even notice that it is happening because it's just a natural mindset. All right. Now a quick story, right? Before I started to be on this journey of wealth and health and everything, my mindset was just money was just for bills. Because when I look back on how I spent money, rent, light, water, internet, food, I didn't understand that money was meant to have other places. Meaning, say my money should be going to investments, my money should be going into things that serve my life. Right? Say I want to go for a vacation. I have to put money aside for that. So when I receive money, I can put it into a place where say, this is the responsibility of that money. Alright? So I could go into a quick example. So for example, $200, right? $200 is what you want to earn. But $100 is where the mind thinks you only deserve. Because every time you go ahead and try to make $200, the subconscious mind creates scenarios to make sure that you don't pass the $100 level. So now the question I had actually, how do I fix this? How do I get to that $200 level? How do I break past this $100 level to go to this $200 level? All right, and this is what he gave me. All right, the belief I have about money. Right, he said, ask yourself, does this serve me? The belief you have surrounding money. You need to sit down and ask yourself, does this serve me? If no, get into a calm state, then create a scenario in your mind that is simple and emotionally tied with you already having the money you want, because the mind doesn't know reality from imagination. And what we call reality, what him call reality, when him explain to me, reality is just like the everyday life or the world we're in right now. Like, if you go out, you drive your car or you go take a taxi, like, that's a reality. The trees and the birds, reality. But from your imagination, by closing your eyes, you can start to imagine things. Right? You can create a vivid memory. You can create a vivid memory. Or you can create a vivid idea of how you would have that $200. Now you can extrapolate this to how you want it, like how much you want. We just use, simple numbers. So that was a mindset hack that he gave me in regards to money, right? So now let's dive deep into the notes of what is money. All right, so now that we explain the mindset, on money, let's dive into the notes, right? So when he thinks of money, when he thinks about money, it's tied to value. So he said money is the physical expression of value. I don't have that in the notes right now, so you can write that down in your notes. So money is a physical expression of value. Now, value is determined by the individual, right? Now, value can be expressed as products, your time for value, or services. So those would be three main value that the workplace or the world appreciates. Now, I could just dive deep into each of these. So products are physical items that solve a specific problem. Now, let's look at the product itself, right? Brands understand people operate mostly from emotion. So they create the illusion that if you don't have this shirt, for example, you are not important. Because when people wear this shirt, alright, so brands understand that people operate mostly from emotion. So they create the illusion that if you don't have this shirt or you don't have this pants or these shoes, you're not important. Because when people wear this shirt, quote unquote, they're important to others. So they will become important once they have this product. So back to the subconscious mind, it operates on autopilot. So sometimes you don't even notice you're doing it. So you're just buying this because you want to have a feeling. Alright? Now onto the next product. Talking about your time for value. There is about 16 hours in a working day. Using others people's time can maximize the output which solves a specific problem. Alright? So how to create more with less is using others people's time is how they can grow their business at a cheaper price. I can own 100 stores, but honestly, you cannot work in all of them by yourself. So this is a 9 to 5 or by contract. right? So people would see that your time would, and then once you give up your time, you get paid, right? So to companies, to entrepreneurs, business, and then we have services, right? Services are intangible activities or benefits that one party provides to another in exchange for value, usually money. Unlike physical products, services cannot be touched or stored. They're experience that solve a specific problem. Now, they have the same thing in common. They solve a specific problem. So that is how you would provide the value. You're solving a specific problem. Now let's just dive deeper into services now. With services, providing a solution, either a short or long term period, that the client needs to be done for them can be something you own or have a skill someone else doesn't have. Or even if someone else has it, it's just how good you do that skill or how good you have that service, right? So this includes but not limited to like barbershops, hair salons, skydiving, restaurants, car rentals, houses like for Airbnb, stuff like that. Equipment, spaces, party accessories, cameras. You can cut lawn, advertising, marketing, property management, vending machines, laundromat pickups and drop-offs, referrals, lead listing, and it just goes on, right? But then you're saying to yourself, but everyone does this. How do I stand out, right? So this is how the amount you get paid in is determined upon how many eyes see you and the quality of your service. So the amount you get paid, right? Because it all comes, well, this is what he was saying. It all comes down to marketing. Because the marketing would be that customers, clients, persons are seeing you, right? Persons are seeing you because customers are, people where I look for a certain service, where them I see most often, I eat them I go gravitate to. So you have to be very keen upon how many eyes are on the business, and then once people have eyes on the business, once them come for buy from you, what is the quality like? So that would be the main reason why them come back. So the amount of eyes that's on the business and the quality of service. Because persons can see the business, but when them go to shop, them just get turned off. Alright, so I hope this helped. This is all the notes I have on money. If I get any more notes, I will definitely update you guys.